Hello and welcome to this episode of Cardinal Film Fights. I'm your host, judge, and moderator, Mark Rollins. Today we have three competitors who are here to get this, argue something. But first, before we get into what they're going to argue, I'm going to have them introduce themselves. They're going to give their name, their year, their major, and a fun fact about themselves. And we're going to start right here and just move right across.
Okay, I'm Nate Richard. I'm a sophomore here at Ball State University, and I'm a TCOM major with a focus on video production. And a fun fact about myself is I have seen 108 of this year's movies. So.
Hi, my name is Trevor Michael Sheffield. I'm a sophomore telecommunications major. I do morning radio on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. for WCRD Morning News. And get this, folks, I like animals.
All right. My name is Devin Smith. I am a freshman political science major and marketing major here at Ball State University. And a fun fact about myself, unlike our esteemed host, I cannot tie a bow tie.
Oh.
Interesting.
It takes a lot of practice and a lot of dedication to make yourself look silly. But today's question is, what is the best animal movie? Now, this means what is a good movie, the best movie, that revolves around animal characters in an animal universe. So the way we're going to do this is we have a 60-second introduction in which you introduce what you chose and why you chose it, followed by a 5-minute form in which you build yourselves up, tear each other down, drag something, punch, knock down, drag out. That's the phrase I'm looking for. Knock down, drag out, fight. And then we finish it up with a 30-second conclusion in which you take all your arguments, tie them up in a nice, neat little bow, give them to me, and I judge you for them. So without any further ado, let's get right to it. We're going to start with Devin, then go Trevor, and finish off with Nathan.
All right. Well, I have to give some background for my answer here. When I was first starting out, I really wanted to choose The Lion King. But when I got to thinking about it, I realized that The Lion King isn't really about animals. It's about humans, and it uses animals to convey the human messages. And my opponents have chosen movies very similar to that, but I, on the other hand, have chosen Bolt, again, for this category, because unlike my opponents, the movie really is about animals. I already went over how well it represents dogs, but it also represents cats and hamsters as well. And I just think it captures animals much more than my opponent's movies.
And we'll move on to Trevor.
For my film, I have chosen Zootopia, released in 2016 by the Walt Disney Corporation. Zootopia is a film that is wholly animal. All of its characters are animals. It is built in a world where humanity never existed to begin with, making it entirely and wholeheartedly animal. Now, the fact that they are animals not only leads into the hijinks of the film, but also carries into the message and overall themes that lie within. Its animalness, its naturalness, is ultimately used as a metaphor to describe all of life in a way.
And we'll finish off with Nathan.
So my movie is Wes Anderson's Fantastic Mr. Fox. This is one of the most charming and one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. It's a movie I quote with my dad constantly. My dad doesn't even like animal movies. He loves animals, just not animal movies. And another thing about it is they do act like humans sometimes, but they still maintain their animal instincts. You see Mr. Fox eating like an animal. You see them behaving like an animal. They live among the humans. They still have their animal instincts, and that's what I think makes it the best animal movie, is because of how well made it is, and just because it represents what an animal is.
And let's go straight into our 5-minute forum.
Now, can I ask you a question about Bolt?
Sure, go ahead.
Outside of domesticated breeds of animals, what kind of animals are there in there?
There are pigeons. There are...
Yeah?
Yeah, there are pigeons.
And?
I could actually think of...
Yeah, I can think of many more. Do you want them? Snakes,
cats,
hamsters.
But
guinea pigs.
Isn't that film basically just The Truman Show? It's literally just, it's like The Truman Show for those of the uninformed.
Well, may I ask you...
Here's the thing about Zootopia. Yeah. Zootopia, they act like humans. It's just a metaphor for racism.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
It's literally
a
metaphor
Zootopia.
for racism and prejudice.
But it's just about, okay, so the predators are the minorities, and...
The fact... It's like
prey are basically just the Caucasian.
Zootopia is like cars. It doesn't matter. It does not matter that they are animals. It doesn't matter that they're cars.
It matters that they're animals.
No, you can make
them.
Well,
yes, there is an overall metaphor about the.
You can make them anything, and the message of the movie will still be the exact same.
With Mr. Fox, I think they do wear animal They wear
They are
human
animals.
clothes. But here's the thing. It represents what an animal is. You see them behave like animals. They don't have human goals. Mr. Fox's goal is to get the geese from one of the old men, Bogus Bunsen Beans, to get their wine, to get their geese, to get their chickens, everything. That's what an animal does. That's what you think of when you see a wild animal on a farm. Zootopia, there's no humans on there. So basically, the animals are just humans, but in the guise
But
of
the fact that
animals.
They are animals actually factors into the overall themes. While yes, there is a message about racism, it uses the fact it uses the natural relationships between these kinds of animals in order to further that.
If you want to talk about subtext in the movies, I'd say that Fantastic Mr. Fox is not really about animals. It's about class struggle. Like,
Okay, here's
it's a
the thing,
fox that
though.
is down on his luck, and he wants to get back.
Bolt
at
is
the
about a
capitalist
human with an
economy.
identity crisis. That's a human issue. Dogs don't have identity crises.
It's not really-
And here's the
it's not
thing:
really an identity
Zootopia
crisis.
is also. You could argue about that. That's human issues. That's racism. That's prejudice.
But by that same
Yeah.
token, your film is basically just a heist film.
You're saying
no,
wait,
but
wait,
with
wait.
animals.
You're saying that foxes have class struggle.
Okay,
you saying
no,
they swear at
but
each other?
do dogs have identity crises?
I mean, I don't claim to
I
be
don't
a
think they do.
psychologically-
I don't see my dog staring at his dog bowl and saying, "Huh, I wonder if I'm a cat today."
But besides that little mechanism for the plot, you can see that Bolt is still an actual animal throughout the movie.
You could see that the animals in Fantastic Mr. Fox are animals as well. And you could, okay, when I see Zootopia, all I see is Jason Bateman he's a human. You can replace all of that with humans and change around
It's
the
like
themes
cars.
a little
you can
bit.
You can replace them with cars. You can replace them with humans. You can replace them with toys. The
Okay,
story would be the exact same.
Hold on.
The fact that they're animals
Last I-
has no bearing on the story.
Last I checked, the fact that Bolt is an animal has no bearing on the fact that it's just a story about an identity crisis.
No, it's a
And
story.
last I
No,
checked-
It's a story about a dog who wants to get back to his owner.
It's just the Truman
And
Show. This story has
he
been done with humans
No,
before.
no.
It is literally just a story
He
that you-
discovers how to be a dog. In the Truman Show, he does not discover how to be a
He
person.
discovers how to
But
be a
he's
man.
having
No,
a
he
human.
doesn't.
He's having a human
He's
problem
having a
with
human
him.
problem. He's having a human problem. Well, yes, my
Yeah,
characters do
yours
deal
are
with
having human
They
problems
are,
too.
They are
Yours
fueled
are
by
having
biological divides caused
no.
by species.
Yours are having human problems too. It's about prejudice
It's about
among our
racism.
community. Exactly. It's about racism. That's more human than anything on ours.
Your two movies, the subtext of the movie overwhelms the actual fact that they are animals.
But that is Bolt
Mine,
too.
the animals are up
That
front
is
and
Bolt
center.
too.
No, it's not. That is a misrepresentation.
No, it is.
It is not about his identity struggle. It is about him discovering what it means to be a dog, what it means to be an animal that is attached to a human, his owner, his person, Penny.
Okay, but here's the thing. He's having a human problem. The whole movie's about Bolt having an identity crisis. He's like, oh,
It's
I don't
not-
think
that's
I'm a
not- that's a
dog. I think I'm on my
misrepresentation of what the
TV
movie's
show.
about.
I don't think most dogs have behaviors like, oh, I still think I'm a human, blah, blah, blah,
I
blah,
don't
blah.
think most foxes worry about the fact that the farmer has all of the resources.
Actually, most animals will invade like farms and everything.
But by
You
the
see
same
that
token,
all the
last I
time.
checked,
That's why they
foxes
have
don't
guard
have marital
dogs.
struggles.
Okay, here's the thing. The animals don't interact like it's racism.
But here's the thing. This is an alternate universe kind of theory where it's taking animals and it's like if humans did not come,
That's
this is what
the
would
thing.
happen. This
Humans.
would hap-
It's
this-
humans.
This is what would
Humans.
happen.
It's
if-
humans.
Humans.
Your story is.
Out of words?
No, I am not out of words.
Not
What
out
I'm-
of words?
What I'm trying to say is that your story, if you stripped it of the animals, it would just be the Truman Show. If you stripped yours of the
Seriously?
animals, it would just be another basic
If
heist
yours
film.
did, it would be a cop. It
No,
would just be
yours
a cop
would be a
procedural.
documentary on racism, all right?
Excuse
Exactly.
me, this is not a documentary. This is a
I
narrative film.
would rather watch the Truman Show than a documentary.
This is not a documentary. You're just calling something a documentary just because it tackles hard themes. That's like me calling your film a documentary. That's like me calling your film a documentary. It's a completely different genre.
No, actually, I agree with this point.
Strong words.
And I'm afraid time is up, gentlemen. I think. Just gonna take a moment. Enjoy the silence. For just a moment.
Just let it linger for a moment.
Exactly.
Today.
And we're going to go to our 30-second conclusions. We're going to work our way back. We're going to start with Nathan, then Trevor, and finish up with Devin.
Here's the thing about Zootopia. Yes, they are animals, and they exhibit a little bit of animal behaviors, but they're still humans. They basically feel like humans. And here's the thing about Bolt. It's about a dog trying to be a dog. We watch animal movies to see the animals be animals. Fantastic Mr. Fox, okay, yeah, it has some human issues, but it also has them behave like animals. More so than Bolt, so...
With Zootopia, all the problems at its core are uniquely related to the species of the characters, as well as the fact that it is animal in general. With Bolt, if you strip it of the animals, it's basically just the Truman Show. And last I checked, foxes don't have marital issues or have to deal with real estate. The point of what I'm trying to say here is that whilst my characters deal with more human issues, all of it at its core is animal.
I'm the only person on this panel who has chosen a movie in which the subtext of the movie does not overwhelm the actual plot. His is about class struggle. Yours is about racism. He says that mine's not really about animals because he somehow like the Truman Show, but it's more about animals than Fantastic Mr. Fox. The fact that Bolt is still a dog, the fact that Mittens is a cat, the fact that Rhino is a hamster is still very important to the story. The story could not be any other way if there were anything else.
Any facts to check, Vaughn?
Nothing major, but we could not find any evidence that there are snakes in Bolt, but
Oh, darn.
yeah, that's all.
Well, that completely
That was a major
changes.
part of my argument. I'm sorry.
That completely changes everything. Okay,
Probably sunk me.
so gentlemen, here's my verdict. I'm going to give first place to Devin, second place to Nathan, third place to Trevor. Devin, I think you made the case that while some human themes of identity may pop up, the main plot is still that it's a dog trying to get back to its owner, which is like a dog thing, a dog trying to find its way home. And that it builds the world as like something that we recognize as animals being animals. Nathan, I think you had that argument too, and I think you did a good job, but I think they just hit you hard. It's like most animals don't have marital problems or real estate issues. But you did make a good argument in stating it's like when they do act like animals, it is very clear that they are animals that are separated from humanity. And then Trevor, I'm gonna have to give you third place. I love Zootopia. I think it's a great movie.
I do too.
I do too.
Oh yeah,
It's a great
movie, and it uses animals very cleverly, but ultimately it's to speak about very human issues of racism. But
Understand.
so to reiterate, first place Devin, second place Nathan, third place Trevor. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Cardinal Film Fights. I'm your host, judge, and moderator, Mark Rollins. Remember to social that media and have a wonderful night, world.